After watching my previous 6 videos on EVM, you would know how to tackle EVM questions in the PMP exam. But do you know the practical utility of earned value management? Let's figure it out. Hey, this is Praveen Malik from pmbypm.com, your ultimate resource for the PMP exam prep. I have made it my mission to help you pass the PMP exam in your first try. In this video, I'm going to tell you about practical utility of EVM. After watching this video, you will get to know how to use EVM in your projects. Stay tuned till the end of this video and I'll tell you how to develop a time-phased project budget. Before we go ahead, please subscribe to this channel and click on bell icon. This way, whenever I release a new informative video, you'll get an instant notification. EVM is a solution as well as a problem. Most people think that EVM is a problem. But let's understand how is it a solution. You might remember the discussion between project manager and project sponsor from our first EVM video. You can click on the card above to watch that video. The discussion didn't go anywhere. The project manager wanted to present project status to the sponsor. The project was going well, but the project manager was not able to convince the sponsor that it was going well. The sponsor thought that the project was not planned well and the current state of the project was not good. The main problem was the project manager was presenting the project status in terms of schedule and milestones. The senior managers and sponsors usually do not understand the milestones and the work involved. They want to get a higher level view of the project. They want to understand if the project is within the budget or not. They want to be sure that the project will finish within the committed timeline. And EVM presents a solution. EVM reporting happens on scope, time and cost together. And the sponsors understand the language of money. But EVM is a problem also. If you have to do EVM reporting, you have to start with a plan. But how to make a plan that uses EVM? How to do so many EVM calculations? How to prepare and present EVM reports? And there are many other questions. And the answer to these questions is also easy. Let's see how. Let's assume that we have to present a EVM report which looks something like this. This is a graphical report. It shows on the control date the values of AC, EV and PV pictorially. So by looking at this kind of graph, sponsors can easily understand the status of the project. If EV is more than PV, the project is ahead of schedule. If EV is less than AC, project is over budget. And there could be different permutation and combinations. You can click on the card above to watch my previous video to understand different permutations and combinations. Let's understand how to make this kind of report practically. So our EVM process was first you plan and then you monitor and control. But the planning part was crucial. We have to find the equivalence between scope, time and cost. Let's start with planning. You can click on the card above to watch my previous video to understand the equivalence between scope, time and cost. Let's start with planning. First step in planning is defining the scope. Now defining the scope is easy. You just have to define a boundary. The work inside the boundary will be part of project scope and work outside the boundary will be outside the project scope. To understand the scope and boundary, you can click on the card above to watch my previous video on scope versus requirements. After we have defined the scope, the step 2 would be create the WBS and define the work packages. The work packages are crucial for creating a EVM plan. You can click on the card above to understand what is a work package. After defining the work packages, the step 3 would be creating a time-phased project budget. Let's see how. We'll start with the project schedule. Project will start somewhere and it will have some milestones like M1, M2 and M3. In each milestone, we could have some work packages. Each milestone can be treated as a control date. We can now estimate the cost of these work packages. So for each milestone, we will have some cost estimate. Like for milestone 1, the cost estimate is P, which is essentially the sum of cost of each work package. For milestone 2, the cost estimate is Q, and for milestone 3, the cost estimate is R. After we have done this, we can create a graph like this. This graph will show cumulative cost at the end of each milestone and a project budget at the end of project. Project budget is represented as BAC or budget at completion. Now that we have a time-phased project budget, we can go on and measure the performance of the project on a control date. Let's assume that we are measuring the performance at the end of milestone 2. So milestone 2 becomes our control date. So at the end of milestone 2, we will measure our earned value and actual cost. Then plot a graph which will look something like this. Now we have our three EVM values, which is PV, EV and AC. Using these values, we can determine the status of the project. As per this graph, it looks like project is above budget because EV is less than AC, and project is ahead of schedule because EV is greater than PV. Now this looks easy, but you might ask, how to prepare these kind of graphs? How to do so many calculations? That's a tedious job. That is also easy if you start using a scheduling software like MS Project or Primavera. You just have to internalize EVM. You have to start using EVM regularly in your projects. For more information, you can go to this blog post. A clickable link is in the description below. Before we go, I have a question for you. How much earned value should be assigned to a work package that is 50% complete on the control date? 50% of the total value of work package? 0% of the total value of work package? 100% of the total value of work package? It's at project manager's discretion. It's at project sponsor's discretion. I would love to hear your answer. Please comment below. So this was my 7th video in the EVM playlist. If you have any questions on EVM or there are some lingering doubts, please leave a comment below. I'll make another video that will help you to understand EVM completely. If you want to download this PPT, please click on the link in the description below.